Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Kathy J Show. I am Kathy J. Thank you so much for joining us. I am so happy that I get to come into your home every half hour every day, this half hour every day, so thank you very much. I love that you're spending all the time with us because my staff and I put a lot of work into the show behind the scenes, so thank you for hanging out and showing your support. You know, if you've missed any of our previous shows, don't worry at all. You can always go to the website, KathyJShow.com, any time of the day, see a bunch of behind-the-scene photos and everything that happens here. Also get caught up on whatever you want. So today we are talking about something very important, and it's affecting millions of lives right here in the United States. Breast cancer. We're talking about it because October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, everybody, if you didn't know. And for the first time ever, we really need to talk about it because female breast cancer has now surpassed lung cancer as the most commonly diagnosed cancer worldwide. Worldwide, everybody. Did you hear that? Worldwide breast cancer, okay? According to the American Cancer Society in 2021, there's going to be over 280,000 new breast cancer cases diagnosed in women. And for men, yes, for men, 2,600 new breast cancer cases are going to be diagnosed. Let's get even closer, okay? Let's get even closer. Let's bring it home to Colorado, everybody. 4,580 women are going to be diagnosed with breast cancer in 2021. 690 of those women are not going to make it, okay? Like, that's this year. So that's your mom, your sister, your best friend. So what do you need to know? You need the education on your side, everybody. Breast cancer is very sneaky. A lot of time breast cancer is discovered, the symptoms. You get a lump, you got a mass, that's obvious. But many women never experience symptoms at all. That's why you gotta do those regular mammograms. It's critical. Early detection is the key. Now, one of my guests today is not only a survivor of breast cancer himself, but his wife is a two-time survivor. Yes, you heard me. She's a two-time survivor, and I said the word he, because men can get breast cancer as well. Murphy Huston from KOSI 101 means the world to me. I love that picture. I love having fellow radio jocks here on the show. I love it. Props to my radio family. But today, this is truly an honor because Murphy Huston, he's an OG legend in Denver. Let's be honest, everybody. When I first started in radio, you got to get your foot in the door somewhere. So I was in the promotions department at KOSI 101.1. Murphy is the big star. And every weekend, practically, I was out with Murphy at some sort of event. And sometimes I was the promotions girl putting up tents, and other times I was the KOSI bear saying hi to everybody. The big panda for KOSI 101.1. And you know what? One of the funniest, most embarrassing moments of my career happened with Murphy as my witness, but I'm not going to tell it to you now. I'm going to do that after the show. So after the show, we're going to do a live on KathyJShow.com. You can hear the story there. It's a good one. It actually ends with Murphy doing this. Come on, everybody! Help me get the KOSI bear up! Yeah, that's how it ends. So there's your teaser right there, everybody. But Murphy Huston's one of the best human beings I know. I love listening to him, whether he's on the air or he's just hanging out. When I was starting, Murphy Huston was the talent that I watched. He was the one that I learned from at events, in person, how he talked to clients, how he did cut-in breaks on the air for those clients, how he crafted all of the stuff he talked about on the morning show. Everything Murphy Huston did, I followed and I watched, okay? He's been making listeners smile for decades here in Denver. And to get to say that I learned from him, man, that's an understatement. It is awesome. He's the best. So when he was diagnosed with breast cancer a few years back, my heart sank. And then Murphy did something that made me love him even more. He told everybody. He was so honest about his diagnosis. He's using it as a badge of honor, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Whether you're a man or a woman, it's about awareness. So, all right, everybody, the death rate has actually dropped 41% in the past 20 years, from 1989 to 2018. As I'm 30 years. My math is horrible. I was in radio. I don't need math. But it's all because of early detection, everybody. So we're going to get into it. Murphy's going to be on the couch, and we'll see you. We'll be right back. Ramos Law is an official partner of the Kathy J Show. He's a medical doctor and a lawyer. Ramos Law, what makes us different makes us better. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Today we are talking about breast cancer, and my guest is somebody who knows the topic all too well. His wonderful wife, Carol, is a two-time survivor of breast cancer.
That's true.
And he is a one-time survivor. Please welcome one of my favorite people, Murphy Huston, to the show.
Thank you very much. Yes. Look at it. I brought Miami. I carry it in the car.
I'm glad you do.
I tried to hang it from the rear view mirror. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work. It's a little heavy.
A little heavy for
me. Right. I love you. Do you believe it? Dreams are coming true. You're
for
here
you.
on my
I'm
couch.
so proud of you.
Thank you.
We have a long history.
We do have a long history. I learned so much from you, and I owe you so much to my career.
I have to say, I have a chance to work with a lot of young people, but you stood out. And I thought, she's going to do really well.
Yeah.
See?
It was fun.
And the good Lord said, you're right, Murph, help her a little bit.
Yes, and you did.
Well.
So thank you. So, all right, so let's get into the breast cancer talk. The first question, obviously, is when will KOSI 101 start the holiday music?
Well, when would you like me to start it?
I'm kidding.
I mean, come on.
Hey, seriously, after Thanksgiving, when are you guys going to start it this year?
Well, typically people think, oh, you always start around Halloween. No, that's a lie. We never start by Halloween. The earliest we've ever started is if it snows.
Okay.
Getting people demand it. People are calling now.
Wanting the holiday music?
Oh, they want it now.
All right. So
but typically it's like 2 or 3 days before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And then we crank it up. And people, then there's that crowd. What are you playing? You play it too long.
Murphy, that was part of the joke. Let's move on to the breast cancer.
Okay, fine. I'm just going on with it.
I love you. He's like, all right, let me skip the call.
And you know I talk. You get me started.
You do. Jeez. Radio people talk. All right, so here's the thing. So let's start with Carol. So Carol gets diagnosed in the 90s.
95.
Okay,
Yep.
and you said the biggest thing that people need when they're going through cancer is the support.
You have to become, if you're not the one going through the cancer. When you get that diagnosis, I'll never forget the look on her face or the look on my face. Life is gone.
Yeah.
She glazed over. I got 4 kids, 2 in college, 2 in high school. I'm doing a morning show. And I thought, I got to step up.
Yeah.
And through radio, you get to work with a lot of organizations.
Yes.
And I knew, Susan G. Komen and I worked with those people. So I said, I've got to be the advocate. You have to be an advocate. You need to take control.
Yeah.
They're focusing on just getting well. So I set the doctor appointments up. I checked the medicine. I did the research. And you need to do that for your loved one.
A lot of men leave women when the woman gets the breast cancer diagnosis.
I met a guy that did that.
Why? How?
He just couldn't take it. I said, so you're just going to leave your wife and 2 kids because you can't take it?
Right.
And he said, yes, and he was gone.
Yeah, but no, that's not the way to do it.
No.
Help them through it. So you help her through it. She's a survivor.
Right.
Life is moving on. She's
Right.
getting tested every 2 times a year?
2 times a year.
Okay.
Dr. Robin Cavacci, bless her heart.
Yes, okay, so the story with Carol is she's getting done 2 times a year. The 20-year mark comes.
Right.
And and the doctor says, I want to test you one more time.
I think we're done here. You've had a couple of biopsies along the way, but you're doing great. It's time to let go. And you're right. She says, but I never let the patient go until I do one more mammogram.
Okay.
One more, maybe an MRI if need be.
Okay.
And then they found it on the other side.
Isn't
That very day.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
And Carol had no symptoms.
None.
Nothing.
None.
Okay.
None.
And so then she went in, and this is another crazy part, third crazy part of the story.
The first time she had it, she got a lumpectomy. Didn't do the mastectomy because they didn't push that a lot back in the 90s.
The lumpectomy is just where they remove the lump?
Right.
Okay.
Not the whole breast.
Okay.
So this time we're doing the whole thing.
Yeah.
So we go in, and the doctor at the time, after the surgery, pulls me in. She said, first we were still shocked. Everybody was shocked that she'd had it a second time in the mastectomy. So when they were taking off the left side, which was the mammogram problem from 95, they rolled back some of the skin from the radiation from that time and found cancer under that.
Wow.
And they wouldn't have found that cancer had they not found the cancer on the right side. I mean, you talk about a God thing.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was different. The technology from 95 to, 2012 was incredibly different.
Okay, yes, it was. And so much so that when it came your time, tell everybody how you found out you had cancer.
Well, this was in 2014. And I was wrestling with my grandson, and he headbutted me on my left side. I went, that kind of hurt. It feels weird. But through my work for Carol and learning about it, I said, I'm going to get checked right away by my doc. And Dr. White, checked it. He said, I think it's a cyst.
Okay.
But let's get a biopsy. So my doc did a biopsy. He said the same thing, the surgeon. I think it's a cyst. Because it's rare guys get it.
Right.
Well, he did 2 biopsies and calls me 5 days later and said, you got it.
Whoa.
And I went, come on, that's not even funny, Ed. He went, no, you have it.
You have breast cancer.
So the fun began on my side.
Uh-huh.
Of course, it was a little easier for me because all I'd gone through with Carol the first time.
Yes.
Kind of helped.
For men, do you have to go through the same invasive radiation, chemo, and all that?
Well, I got lucky because of early detection.
Yes, early detection.
Can't emphasize that enough. Especially guys, they feel a lump and guys are stupid. So you think, oh,
fatty pocket.
Yeah, it'll be gone. It'll be gone.
Right,
and then it doesn't go away.
Right.
And then unfortunately, because I heard your stat about the men that'll get breast cancer, 90% of them will probably die.
Because they don't think
they
that
let
this
it go.
would be
They let it
cancer.
go. So I wasn't going to let it go. So I got in and I went through this program over at Anschutz where they bring you in and they bring all the doctors by for my second opinion.
Right.
And so I had to get a mammogram.
I was going to say, it's not like you had a C cup. How did you get that in?
I walked in and the poor nurse says, whoa, I've never done a man before. And I said, well, I've never had a mammogram before. So let's get to it.
So how did they do it?
Well, they just squeezed.
They squeezed.
Because they don't have as much tissue, as you might imagine. And it was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It really was. But it worked. I mean, it did verify what they had said.
And they removed it? Did you have chemo? What did you have?
I had no chemo and no radiation.
Wow.
You know, when you do a sick leave at work, you get like that 12-week break.
Yes.
I had the surgery on a Thursday, and the following Monday I was at work.
Why is that different for men? Because you don't have as much tissue.
As much heel space, I guess.
Yes.
I'm sure the doc that's coming on after.
Yeah, we'll ask the doc that's coming on.
But I was all done. Couldn't believe it. Back to work, and I never had another problem until 2 weeks ago.
Yes, right. So you have like a minute. Hurry up, share that.
Well, if it did happen again, I'm wrestling with another grandson. I run into a door. I get a soreness on my right side. I'm going, that doesn't feel right. So off we go. And the doc says, we're going to send you to Sally Jobe. Anybody that's had breast cancer knows Sally Jobe. Went in there, got an ultrasound and another mammogram on a Friday, and they said, there's something going on here. Let's get a biopsy. A week ago Monday, yesterday, had the biopsy. Wednesday, found out, no, you're great, thank God. A little fatty tissue, but quit running into doors because it made it swell up.
All right, that's where we end it. Quit running into doors.
That's my last piece of advice. Do not run into doors. It's not good.
Murphy Huston from KOSI 101. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, you're going to stick around, though, because the doc has a lot to say.
I could do some heckling. You want me to do that?
No heckling.
No?
Coming up next, everybody, understanding those risk factors and the importance of that early detection. We'll be right back. The Colorado Lottery is an official partner of the Kathy J Show. Colorado Lottery, play on. Welcome back to the Kathy J Show, everybody. We are talking about breast cancer and beating it. Whether you're a man or a woman, knowing those risk factors and getting your annual mammograms saves lives. It's that simple. Dr. Afgahi is here. She is the oncologist over at UC Health. Thank you so much for joining us today. Okay, Doc, so let's get into breast cancer. Men and women can both have it. We've established that.
Yep.
And there's also sometimes no symptoms. So how do we screen for breast cancer?
Yeah, so it depends a little bit on your family history.
Okay, start there.
Yes, so if you do have a strong family history of breast cancer, ovarian cancer, then it's not a bad idea to see a genetic counselor and learn more about your risk. And you may have to start screening a little sooner. If you have average risk, we do recommend that you start getting a mammogram at the age of 40.
Okay.
We also would like for women to just have awareness and do a breast exam every month, starting in their 30s, just so that they know what's normal for them.
Right.
And that's another way to detect things early.
And the best way to do the screening on yourself is put your arm up and then just go around in circles when you're lying down or sitting up.
Whatever
Doesn't
is
matter.
comfortable for you. Some of, I think some of my patients lie down. I actually also say, if you want to do it in the shower with some soapy water.
Oh, okay.
That's really.
Then you can really push on them and really feel around.
Yeah, do whatever makes you happy. Yes, do that. And I would say if you're having a period, try to do it around the same time each month, because sometimes the breast tissue can change a little bit depending on the day of the month, and that way you know kind of what's normal during the same time each month.
Okay, and the bigger the boob doesn't mean the denser the boob, correct?
No, that's true, yeah. So the breast tissue has glands. That's where the milk is formed and kind of transported to the nipple if you're having a baby.
Okay.
There's fibrous tissue, and that's kind of what holds or supports it. And then there's fatty tissue.
Okay.
And the glands and the fibrous tissue is what makes it dense.
Okay,
and that
gotcha.
is actually also sometimes based on family history, your body size. There's all kinds of different reasons why some people have more dense breast tissue and others have more fatty breast tissue.
So risk factors would be like if your family history. Also, you said things like obesity, right? Bad eating. I mean, what else is a risk
in
factor?
general, if you have a kind of more of a healthy lifestyle, eating well, exercising, trying to reduce alcohol, not smoking.
That always helps.
That does help. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boo! No, I'm kidding. But like Murphy told us, he
Yes.
had no idea.
I know.
You know, so how do men? I mean, obviously for us, it's at 40. Go
Yeah.
and get your first mammogram. Men, that's not.
I know.
What do you
and-
offer for advice for men to detect it?
Right. I do think it's important to have kind of a breast or chest wall awareness for men. I think it's important for, like Murphy said, advocate for yourself. When you go see your primary care provider, make sure that they do a thorough exam,
Right.
including your chest and, even a skin check, whatever it is. Make sure that you get out of that appointment feeling like you've had a thorough exam.
Okay.
And I think men are sometimes, they don't get the same amount of attention, and you kind of just have to tell people, I want you to make sure that I'm cancer free.
Yeah, and there have been so many advances right now in technology, in the research,
Yes.
and the treatments. Explain what's going on.
That's a
I know
big
it's a lot.
question.
I know it's a lot. I know. What about the treatments? What has changed for the treatments?
Yeah, I mean, so we have different subtypes of breast cancer.
It used to be like we take this, then we even do radiation and chemo.
Yeah,
And
and we still do that depending on the type.
Okay.
So certainly if it's a larger cancer or if it's traveled to the lymph nodes and other places, we still offer those things, and that is the recommendation. But there are lots of other types of targeted therapy now that we have that you can take by mouth that doesn't cause hair loss, which is really important.
That is what most women freak out about.
I know.
Yes, well,
Yes.
my girlfriend, it was she immediately wanted to go find a wig before she even lost her hair.
Yes.
Yeah, so it is a very
It
big
is
concern.
important, and then we have immunotherapy now that kind of helps our own immune system attack the tumor cells.
Oh, that's good.
So there's all kinds of really, really innovative things to do to really help reduce the chances that the cancer comes back.
That's awesome. Dr. Afgahi, she is an oncologist at UC Health. You mentioned one of the reasons why you love why you love this line of practice is because you like to be with the women and help them with their lives.
Yes,
and help them
and
through
men.
things.
Yes,
And men,
yes.
and men, Murphy, and men. But one of the reasons is you want them to know that they're still a woman. Like some women can still have
Yes.
children. Their lives can still be fulfilled.
A cancer diagnosis should never define you. It's going to be a huge part of your life during that active, intense therapy time. And your body is going to change. And so survivorship is so important. And knowing that you have a team behind you that
Yes.
is there,
Yes.
that understands that each phase has its own complications, and we have to kind of deal with things as we go.
Yes, and you
but
don't
yes.
lose your whole breast.
No,
There's
you don't have
different
to.
breast reconstructive
Oh,
surgeries.
yes.
Those have come a long way.
Absolutely, there's tons of different ways.
I
to
saw
have
someone
that.
get their nipple
Nipple
tattooed.
tattoos.
It was amazing. It looked so much better than mine.
It's
I was like,
incredible.
that's beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
The
right.
plastic surgeons are like artists. They do amazing jobs.
So it's not the end when you get that breast cancer diagnosis,
No.
whether you're a man or a woman. It's about the early detection.
Absolutely.
Your rates
yes.
of surviving go up tremendously.
Yes.
Yes. So real fast, what do you want people to know? Do they just start with their doctor or do they immediately?
If you feel something, or
Yeah.
in general.
Yeah,
Like,
just in general. I guess
general.
like I just want to make sure. Like a
Yes.
guy, my husband was in last year, and I don't think he thought of all that. Should I
Yes.
jump on him and start pushing really hard to see if I feel lumps?
Depends on-
What's our
yeah.
first step?
Right. So you should see a primary care provider once
there.
a year and make sure that to do a thorough exam. I
Okay.
think for men in particular. For women, your gynecologist or your primary care provider should do a breast exam every year.
Yes, right.
And then you should get your mammograms.
Thank you,
Yes,
Doc. Thank you,
yes.
Doc. Thank you, Doc. Okay, for more information, just go to the American Cancer Society anytime, day or night, 1-800-227-2345. By calling, you can find out where you can get screened and also join the fight against breast cancer. You can also go online to cancer.org. We'll be right back.
Kathy J.
Oakwood Homes is an official partner of the Kathy J Show. Oakwood Homes, building happiness. everybody. Thank you so much, and welcome back to the Kathy J Show. It's already time for the show to end. I hate that, but you can always go to kathyjshow.com for more info and to see the show and other shows you might have missed. Thank you, Murphy Huston, for being here.
Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Thank
very
you,
much.
Dr. Afgahi,
Thank you for
being
having
here.
me.
She was good.
She was fantastic. We were just talking
She could
about
do radio.
she should do radio. We were just talking about insurance.
Yes.
And you say insurance has come a long way. They now are on the boat of helping women and
Yes.
men with breast cancer.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Including the reconstruction part
Because
after.
I had always heard that was where they don't pay, so that's awesome. Any closing thoughts you want to leave us with, Murph?
Two words for men and women. Early detection.
Yes.
If you think it, take care of it. Because it ain't going away by itself, I'll tell you right now.
Yeah.
So get it done.
It only gets bigger and bigger, and worse and worse.
It does.
Thank
Especially
you so much.
for men.
Especially for men. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being
Thank
so
you.
brave and sharing your story.
Hey, I wanted to get the word out.
That's exactly it. Everybody have a great day. And remember, you can go to cancer.org for more info.
Kathy J.